Hello, my dear students. In this video, I'm going to explain you short-run equilibrium of the economy, which is the second part of theory of income and employment. In the first part of this unit, we have discussed what is the meaning of aggregate demand, aggregate supply, what are the components of aggregate demand, that is consumption, investment, government expenditure, net exports, and two sector model. Aggregate demand is equal to C plus I. Aggregate supply is sum total of factor incomes, and aggregate supply has two components, that is consumption expenditure and savings. In this part, I'll explain you what is the meaning of equilibrium of the economy. As per this Keynesian theory, in the short run, the economy is said to be in equilibrium when planned aggregate demand is equal to planned aggregate supply. Now, planned aggregate demand means this is the sum total of planned household consumption expenditure and planned investment expenditure by firms. See, since in a two-sector model, aggregate demand is equal to C plus I, where C is consumption expenditure and I is investment expenditure. In this theory, investment is assumed to be autonomous investment, which is independent to the level of income. Now, consumption expenditure, we have already studied that it has two components: autonomous consumption expenditure and induced consumption expenditure, which is C bar, which is autonomous consumption expenditure, and MPC into Y, which is induced consumption expenditure. You can see below here also. So aggregate demand in a two-sector model, which is planned aggregate demand, we say, is sum total of planned consumption expenditure and planned investment expenditure. Aggregate supply, as you know, it is equal to sum total of factor incomes, and income has two components: consumption expenditures and savings. So in a two-sector model, under this Keynesian theory, in the short run, the economy is said to be in equilibrium when C plus I is equal to Y. Are you getting it? The C plus I is equal to Y. C plus I is aggregate demand and Y is aggregate supply. So, since aggregate supply again or Y is equal to, we can say C plus S. So, in a two-sector model, at equilibrium, we can say C plus I is equal to C plus S. You can see here also. So, C and C are cancelled out. So, I is equal to S. So in the short run, you can say the economy is said to be in equilibrium when either one aspect, you can say aggregate demand is equal to Y or aggregate supply, and second aspect is when planned investment is equal to planned savings. Planned investment is equal to planned savings. So in this chapter, I'm going to explain you these two different aspects of economy's equilibrium. So one is aggregate demand and aggregate supply approach. It is also called planned spending and planned output approach, or consumption investment approach. And second aspect is planned investment and planned saving approach. Now, what is the meaning of equilibrium of the economy? Now see, in the economy is sum total of all the, we can say, production units in a defined area. So when the production level is stable in the economy, when producers, they neither increase production nor they decrease the level of production, the economy is said to be in equilibrium. When the level of production is stable, means the level of employment is stable and the level of income is also stable. The economy is in equilibrium. But why don't producers change their level of output? What is that driving force behind it? Now see, every producer wants to maintain his planned level of inventory. So this planned level of inventory is based upon what households are planning to consume. Because producers, they produce as per their anticipations, as per their planning, as per their expectations. They produce in keeping in their mind that some part of their produce will be purchased by households, and some part of it they will be keep it as an inventory with them. So if households planning to consume is exactly equal to what producers are planning to produce for them, they will be left with their desired, or you can say planned, inventory levels. And in this situation, they will neither increase production nor they decrease production. The economy is set to be okay. Now, what happens when households planning to consume is either more than or less than producers planning to produce for them? So this I'll explain you in the next video, which is I'm going to prepare after that.